you haven't seen the square eyelet video, it's worth just checking that out now, because this stitch is very similar, just with one stitch missed out. So I'll put a link to it up here in the corner, and you can just have a quick look at that one first and then come back and have a look at this one. So we're going to make these ones round. Now these are small ones because there is a different way of doing a larger one. So this is still 5 by 5 holes, the same as the square one. So I'll show you this one separately from the larger ones. So what happens is, now the easiest way to start it is 5 by 5, but we're going to miss this corner stitch out now, but it's still covering that area of 5 by 5 hole area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the bottom of the square and up the square. So still think of it as 5 by 5. I'm going to start this one down here to show you what to do. Now the best place to start these, so you don't get confused with what happens at the corner, is the vertical central one. So this is the middle hole of the 5. So this is hole number 3, whether you go 1, 2, 3 that way or left to right, 1, 2, 3. This is 3. This is the middle of the 5 holes, and we're just going to count down 3 holes, and that's the middle of our eyelet there. So always start with that one, and then there's no confusion about the corner. So I'm going to work clockwise. You can go anti-clockwise if you want to, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to come up next to that first stitch, as if I was doing my square one. So coming along the top of the square shape, needle goes down into that middle hole. Everything's always down into that hole from now on. And if we were doing a square one now, we would come up in the corner. But we're going to just knock the corners off and make it round. So I'm going to ignore that corner one and just come down one. So you're just missing out the corner stitch really, otherwise it's exactly the same as the square. We're going down in that central hole, don't need to count that because everything's going down there. And what you actually end up with is 3 stitches on each side of your square. So that's the second. There's the third, down into that middle hole. If we were doing a square, we'd come up in the corner, but we're not, so we're going to miss that stitch out, move along 1 hole and carry on. And it just knocks off those square corners and gives us a nice round eyelet. So 3 on the bottom, miss the corner one. Don't come up vertically from that third one, you still need to come out to the corner, but we're just not bringing the needle up out of that one, and we're coming up from there. So that's important to, you can do what I do if you like, put your needle in the corner and go ignore that one, come up in the next one, otherwise you'll get a bit of a squashed circle. There's my third, and then just to finish it off we'd miss that corner out, which is underneath that one, and there's my final stitch. Now they do fit together with a little gap in the middle, so this diagonal now will be the diagonal of the next one. If I just cover that up, there's the diagonal. So if you want to, best way to start that is to the top right stitch, so not the corner one but the one in. You go up 1 hole from that, you can start there and count in 3 holes. So it's always the middle one, it doesn't matter if it's the middle one on the top or the middle one on the side. Start with that middle stitch of the 3 stitches, and there's the centre hole. Now you'll see what happens now is that links up with that stitch there. We share that hole, missed out the corner one would be in there. There's my middle one of the top row. And just go around again. There's my corner. I'm not doing the corner, so next hole down. So it's good to count holes because you can actually put your needle in and go miss that hole out. You can use it to help you count. Miss the corner, next hole along, all down that same central hole. Pull your stitches quite tight so you can get all of the stitches down the hole without distorting your canvas. There's my 3 along the bottom, miss the corner out and back up to finish it. I'll do 1 more here. So that would be my corner, my left hand of the 3 stitches. So start in the middle one. 1, 2, 3. Second stitch. There's my corner. Missing that out. 2, 3, miss the corner out, along one hole, 3 stitches along the bottom. It's not a difficult stitch, just I think when you start your next eyelet, just make sure you start it in the right place so it matches up. And you'll find that you get these little squares in the middle, which is why I just wanted to do one more. And you can fill that in with whatever you like, really. So here, you can't see it too well because I did it in the same colour, but this is a very small square eyelet. So it's just 3 holes by 3 holes. These are 5 by 5. This is 3 by 3 into the middle. Or if you don't want to do that, it's a little bit fiddly, you can just put a cross stitch right across there. Just fill in the gaps with a cross. So however you want to fill that in, you can just do a tent stitch if you just want to do a tent stitch. But a little bit more organic looking than the square one, and not too hard. You've got to remember just to miss the corner out. So that's small circular eyelets.